Welcome to r/leopardsatemyface, where the Biden fruit is real. My dad voted for Trump, and I begged him not to. Now he can't afford his insulin, and he says it's Biden's fault. But I say it's denial. We're not divided by politics anymore. We're divided by reality. Russian propaganda played the long game and won. They even told us exactly how it would be done, and that's what makes this whole affair even sadder. That's what's really weird with all these MAGA folks, is they think they're beating the system or whatever, when in reality, they're just consuming the propaganda. Cause what? You think repeating the same talking point for the 2 millionth time means you're a free thinker? I'm not much in politics. I voted for Trump, but I can't see how he's helping us. Any explanations? He's killing me. Maybe you should have considered taking a more active interest in politics, since, you know, it affects every aspect of your life. Or alternatively, don't vote if you don't care. Fun fact, MAGA, politics isn't a team game, or something that, you know, doesn't actually affect your life. So let's leave all the team games bullshit to Madden and your American football. I can't believe the guy who did this before to us would do it again. How baffling. Objectively speaking, it's just baffling how he's handling the whole thing. I guess at this point, he truly doesn't seem to give a fuck if people who voted for him turn on him. It's a shame having to deal with this all again, when there's a lot of other things that we need to be focusing on. Guarantee you if he clarified on that, it'd be something to do with him being a bigot. Because there's two paths to being a MAGA. Either you ate up the propaganda, or you're a closeted, or not closeted, bigot. I don't care about you, I just want your vote. Donald Trump is a lot of things, but there's been some absolute truth bombs directly into that camera that I guess you miss if you blink, or don't blink. Selective attention. They only pay attention to what they want to hear. It was the hate part that turned them on, and after that they tuned down. A lot of it is a game to them, where it's just, oh, what's that? Insert made-up enemy that dear leader told me was evil is getting persecuted? Good. Oh, what? Actually doing positive change in the country? What's that? You get what you paid for. The founder of Latinas for Trump is now publicly denouncing Trump's immigration crackdown. The founder of Latinas for Trump is now publicly denouncing Trump's immigration crackdown. The person said he would do mass deportation and persecution of minorities is doing that exact same thing, and you just decided to ignore them for... what exactly? My sympathy exists when actual ownership of failure occurs. You supported a liar. Say you were duped, sure, but also admit that you were ignorant and blinded. If you don't admit fault, you'll never grow. Oh, 100%. This is why I voted for, and I was incorrect to do so. I regret it, and I'll work on fixing it. Good for you. Do better next time. Own what you've done and fix it. Daddy told me he'd do all these things, and now he's doing them, and that isn't my fault. Can you believe he's actually doing exactly what we elected him for? I had no idea he'd do exactly as he'd always do. Yeah, fuck off into a lake. Accountability in MAGA, that's a dime a dozen. Another one bites the dust. I'm a conservative and a 3-time Trump voter. I'm a former officer of the court. I'm a former guardian ad litem. I've got no idea what that is. Can anyone tell me? I've represented hundreds of abused, neglected, and trafficked children in the court system. I know how criminal cases against predators work. Don't pardon pedophiles, ever. If that makes me fake MAGA, so be it. You're someone who represents abused children, and you voted for the child abuser. Got it. A Trump supporter who voted for him 3 times now wants to speak out against pedophiles? Aw, how convenient. Sounds like she pardoned a pedophile 3 times. She did, and now she wants points for reneging. Yep, this isn't a change of heart. She's a dissatisfied customer on this. She's cool with everything else. She can fuck all the way off. We need to get a MAGA accountability counter up in here. Well, more like a counter of how many MAGA aren't being accountable of their own actions. Because I mean, you know, they're fine with dear leader violating human rights and dismantling the government, but the second it's something they don't like, it's now, well, boo-hoo, I couldn't have seen how bad he could have been. Like, give me a fucking break. You're not sorry for your actions, and you're just trying to save your own ego. Hey chat, if you guys enjoy what I do, feel free to like, subscribe, and share, because it helps this gay guy reading stuff a lot. And anyways, have a good day and back to the video. Prominent anti-vaxxer gets measles. I wonder if they're gonna blame it on the Democrats somehow. Prominent US anti-vaxxer says he's caught measles and travelled back home. Brian Hooker seems to have not alerted authorities of his illness after leaving West Texas. So not only catching measles, but also being so medically illiterate, he's probably not quarantining and not alerting the authorities of it, which makes him a spreading risk. So smart. I fucking hate these assholes so much. I hope he suffers a bad case. Don't worry, if he does, he won't blame it on the measles, he'll blame it on seedolls or some bullshit. Well, yeah, of course. You know, there's the fact he's not had vaccines which have been scientifically proven over and over and over and over again to prevent or mitigate the effects of bad diseases. Or it could be the seed oils, or the fact that Democrats, you know, they put fluoride in the water, and their weather machine actually spreads super measles, or super Democrat measles. Yeah, the weather machine spreads that all over America, specifically to target us. You know, the gun-loving anti-vax MAGA Republican. Is that good enough? Did I do a MAGA conspiracy good enough? Meanwhile, I'm literally using seed oils in a lab to help cure cancer with other treatments. I fucking can't stand their hatred of science. McDowell County, West Virginia went nearly 80% to Trump, but might have some regrets. McDowell County, West Virginia, the birthplace of food stamps, and they chose Republican to get rid of food stamps and benefits. Faces a disappearing safety net. What? Whoa, you're telling me voting for the no benefits for anyone, except, you know, the billionaires, party would lead to me losing my benefits? Oh my giddy aunt, who could have seen that coming? As I've said before, my sincerest preference is that Republicans don't hurt anyone. Since that's impossible, my second choice is that they hurt their supporters and themselves more than the rest of us. Right, at some point if your hometown is 80% dipshit, it's gonna be a bad place. There's nothing anyone can do about it except leave. Well, I voted for Trump, and I hope I didn't make a mistake, because he's gonna mess with R, spell A-R-E instead of O-U-R. Please, MAGA, learn your grammar. Social Security, I like Trump, but I pray I don't regret wanting him in. Whoa, you're telling me when he'd say he'd gut the government, he would actually gut the government? Shocker. Thanks, my husband's saying different. Can't see Trump doing that. Well, I mean, you voted for him, and you can't see Trump doing a lot of things, which he has done, and also him being convicted of it multiple times. But hey, it's only a problem when it affects you know, the main character of the United States. Because, you know, when you voted to destroy everyone else's livelihoods, you saw yourself in that campaigning that you, specifically you, out of the millions and millions of people, was going to be the only one saved from it. I'm sorry, I should have remembered, that's my bad. He's not messing with our social security, He's cutting the illegals, those who shouldn't be on it, and getting rid of the dead weight. You'll be fine, trust me. He's not messing with your social security. He's taking away from people that claim a disability or other thing to get a check. Your check is safe, Sandy. Oh look, the second form of bogeyman. People with disabilities getting benefits? I'm sorry, but if you've got a disability that prevents you from working, or limits you from working, there should be some sort of compensation for that. And I don't know why that's so controversial, you know, helping people who can't help themselves, but hey, I've got a sense of humanity and you don't. Chaz says it's nothing to worry about, so that's a relief. God bless Brother. Y'all just don't have the cards. Thor's cards. Buy them now, there are only 4 easy payments of $29.99. Buy today and Trump will even throw in free prayers cards, so you'll be able to properly offer both thoughts and prayers. It'll not guarantee your Medicare and Social Security won't be cut. City Region elects Reform Council. Not Reform UK. Anyone else from Britain? I hope you felt the pain that I felt when I read that. Community services cut and building rented out by Doge push? Whoa, you're telling me Reform UK? You know, Nigel Farage who's saying he wanted to denationalise the NHS and put that shit on insurance like the US? You're telling me they don't like public services and, you know, people not being overcharged by private companies? Anger erupts over plans to close Doncaster Community Centre. Fuck Reform UK, that's coming from your British gay guy reading stuff. He heard himself in his own confusion. Aww. Trump signs executive orders targeting woke, AI models and regulation. The federal government should be hesitant to regulate AI models in the private marketplace. I don't know about you, I think AI should be regulated, you know, so it doesn't, like, take over everyone's jobs. South Park. Okay, bet. Oh, but that's not fair for President Poopy Diaper, and he's gonna sue you guys. That's hilarious. Wait, hate speech? Basically, the party of hypocrisy, racism, misogyny, homophobia, and xenophobia. Also transphobia, and definitely some more, but I don't know every single phobia. Probably because they live in the home of phobias. Farmers who voted for Trump have their $20 million grant rescinded as a wasteful DEI program. White House rescinds $20 million for clean water in pesticide-contaminated rural California. EPA said grant to provide clean water was a wasteful DEI program, as the pesticide leaches into residents' wells. You think you should be able to drink clean water? That's a bunch of woke nonsense. Drinking anything except pesticide-contaminated sewage water is a bunch of woke nonsense. Except when I need to drink it. Then it needs to be coming from the purest spring water source. Sounds like DEI means anything now. Like woke. Yeah, I really don't know what's woke about a water source. But go on, queens. Yep, whatever MAGA doesn't like is DEI. Clean water is DEI nonsense. Not being racist is super DEI. Conservative immigrant and her friend acknowledge that ICE is horrible and could detain her at any time. Chickens for KFC says what? Yet they still shit on the radical violent left for protesting ICE in LA. You know, violating people's human rights and detaining and displacing them without fair trial is absolutely fine. But protesting? That's where I draw the line. Also, what's happening around, it's just crazy, and I wish everyone will see the reality of it. Literally, I had to give blank all of my immigration and lawyer information, even though I'm totally legal. But if they want to detain me, they just could, because And I understand that completely. It's a terrible thing that you have to even be worried about that happening to you. There is a right way and a wrong way to address these issues, and what's happening in LA is the wrong way for sure. It's just so dangerous. So you acknowledge that they can just pick you up anytime. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what propaganda you're lapping up, but yeah, there's people that do property damage and that sort of thing, but could you really tell me there's widespread rioting and looting? Like, I saw people compare it to the 1997, I think, or is one of the 1990s LA riots, when it was not even fucking comparable. A conservative immigrant? Those two words should never be that close together. Jesus fucking Christ, these people are beyond stupid. Many immigrants are conservative because of their faith and traditional values. Ah yes, traditional values, including detaining and displacing people without trial and violating their human rights. Cubans and most Eastern Europeans, especially due to their parent country's history with communist regimes. Left doesn't always equate to communist, but okay. Many voted for Trump in 2024 because they came here the right way, and want to pull the ladder up from under them. It's frustrating, but not as far-fetched as you think. But I think the term to summarize it best begins with B. Can you guys guess what that word is? Or the ultimate supporter has turned. Or alternatively has just had a hissy fit and he's gonna forget it in 2 weeks. Let's see. QAnon Shaman was pardoned by Trump for role in the Jan 6th Capitol riot. It was more than a riot, it was a fucking insurrection and an attempted lynching, but okay. Now he is slamming Trump as a fraud. Not wrong, but you didn't have to do the whole blindly supporting him for like 10 years and attempting to lynch Congress thing. You know, you could have just like looked on Google for like 5 minutes. Couldn't even use his shaman powers to see Epstein-gate coming. In a few years, this clown will be howling for Trump's election. Excessive use of face paint equals clown, regardless of proximity to a circus. I love how you defined the parameters of what constitutes a clown, and upon review, concur. MAGA. It's a circus, no matter the amount of clowns. But yeah, I think my cats have better memory than this guy, and the majority of MAGA, so odds are they're gonna be voting for his 3rd term in, what, 3 years? But hey, I guess time will tell. It's only been 6 months and 9 days into this shit show.